What's going on, everybody? This is MDENT313, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Listen, I want to congratulate Kirk Cousins on his record-setting day. Man, he went out there and he had a field day against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Threw for 509 yards, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he threw for 3 touchdowns. Now listen, I am one of the biggest Kirk Cousins haters you're going to ever come across. For the longest time, I could not stand Kirk Cousins. And the reason why is because I remember when the whole situation was going on with Robert Griffin III, where he was drafted, I believe, number 2 overall in that draft behind Andrew Luck. And then they ended up drafting Kirk Cousins, if I'm not mistaken, in the 3rd or 4th round. And I want to make sure I get this correctly. I believe the owner wanted Robert Griffin III, but Jay Gruden and the coaching staff wanted Kirk Cousins. And I can't prove this, right? This is just my theory. This is just my personal belief. And if I'm wrong, I apologize to all parties involved. But I personally believe that they sabotaged Robert Griffin III from the coaching staff. I've heard stories about the offensive line intentionally not blocking for him. And don't get me wrong, Robert Griffin III have some things that it was his fault as well, but primarily, you know, he was battling against the coaching staff as well as, you know, his offensive line. You know, he had an amazing rookie season, but what followed after was completely unfortunate. Then he ended up bouncing around the league and, you know, things of that nature. But ever since then, even though Kirk Cousins never did anything or said nothing that rubbed me the wrong way, I didn't like him because I was a big Robert Griffin III fan, and I felt like, you know, he didn't do it, but, you know, they wanted him, so they kind of sabotaged his career. And then another reason what further made me not like Kirk Cousins was I was cool that he got the big deal with Washington, but then he went on to get this huge deal with Minnesota, and then he got another huge deal with Atlanta. Now, I'm not upset that he got those phenomenal deals because Kirk Cousins is an amazing player. He's an amazing quarterback, and he seemed like an amazing guy. But what bothered me about the whole Kirk Cousins situation is they always harp on players who, oh, well, this guy, he need to lose his job because he isn't getting it done. He's been with this team so long, he can't win a Super Bowl. He's just a bridge quarterback or an average quarterback at best. And all of those labels, it seemed like most quarterbacks get them, especially the African-American quarterbacks, if, you know, they not winning. Because Lamar, he's kind of feeling that Raf. I think Lamar probably out of everybody, and he's gotten a lot of criticism as well, but he's gotten it the least. But most of the time, you on such a short leash. If you're a black quarterback, even if you performing well, but you're not winning any Super Bowls. I remember Michael Vick's tenure. He wasn't with the Eagles that long, and he was playing pretty solid. I won't say he was playing MVP level, but he was playing at least Kirk Cousins level, right? And I will give him credit for this because he did play on a lot of franchise tags. And when you play on a franchise tag, you're pretty much betting and gambling on yourself. But I don't understand why, when it came to other quarterbacks, they were not treated the same. It was almost, quarterbacks are typically always treated as, if you can't get it done here, then you pretty much a backup level quarterback. Every once in a while, they'll try you at a second team, kind of like how they did Peyton, but Peyton already had a Hall of Fame career, and Tom Brady had a Hall of Fame career, and then Drew Brees had Pro Bowls when they went to their other teams. But I'm saying, as far as players that didn't have an illustrious career, if you didn't have an illustrious career prior to getting traded, you was pretty much treated like a backup. Like how Sam Darnold is getting treated now, even though Sam Darnold is looking phenomenal. Kirk Cousins never got Sam Darnold level treatment. You get what I'm saying? Now you can make a case. In all fairness, he's been a slightly better player than Sam Darnold, or a much better player because he's been around longer. But I'm talking about at the times that they were traded, because he wasn't a world beater at Washington. He wasn't a complete scrub, but he wasn't the Kirk Cousins he was in Minnesota that he was in Washington. He was much better at Minnesota. But the point is, they never treated him as this guy who couldn't get it done. He always got treated like an A-lister. But I'm coming around more and more to Kirk Cousins. He kind of had a slow start this season, where I thought like, ooh-wee, Atlanta might have messed up giving them that $180 million. They should have just kept that money, invested in other pieces, and just roll with Michael Penix Jr. to see what happened. But hey, listen, Kirk Cousins got Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, to 3-1 or 4-1. But they rocking and rolling, won some close games. And listen, that game that Kirk Cousins put on last night was nothing short of spectacular. So I want to apologize to Kirk Cousins. I was wrong about you. I've been wrong about you. And listen, you deserve every dollar that you've got. You've earned it the hard way. And with that being said, man, God bless you. Let me know what you think about Kirk Cousins' record-setting performance with 509 passing yards. He was absolutely spectacular yesterday. Let me know what you think in the comment section.